Alex, must have been a nice trip all the way back on the M6 last weekend.
Yeah, it's always better when you win. And obviously, winning breeds confidence. It creates morale. Winning on that first day, I think that although it's not the be all and end all in terms of it's a long season, but what it does do is it does set you up nicely. I think it gives you the players a reward for the hard work that they've put in and over pre-season. And I think what it did do is hopefully show that how far we've come in terms of that short space of time, that we got pre-season right. I think it's always rewarding for the staff when you get a victory, because it takes a lot of organisation pre-season and planning and making sure that the players we're getting the very best out of them every day. So it was a nice reward for the hard work that everyone's put in. But our biggest message has been that absolutely it was a good start away from home, but now for us it's right. We've set the levels, we've set those standards. Especially in terms of how hard we worked, and now we've got to continue that.
Apart from the first 10 minutes, it was a really well worked out performance from start to finish. Do you feel that you get the credit where it's due? I read comments and it's more to the point, Blackpool gave those goals away, but you've got to credit your side for pressing the way they did.
Yeah, I think we heard it a lot last year. I think it's frustrating, because I think what the players don't get credit for is absolutely their hard work, their organisation, how they take information on board each game, because each game is different. But we don't get those goals if we don't press right. We don't get those goals if you haven't got that intensity about us, and that is a big part of our game, for sure. And when you get your out of possession organisation right, teams find it difficult. And absolutely, they get credit from us. And to be honest with you, if that's while people see it, that's the way that they look at it. But we know that the work that the players are doing in terms of on the training pitch and then into a game on the Saturday is reflecting that now. It's replicating what we do. And I think that ultimately, if people don't want to give us that credit, we'll just nicely go under the radar and keep doing what we're doing until someone looks and goes, actually, you know what, that team, is actually making them, the opposition, limited in their options, giving the ball away, making them go long. That's absolutely what we're all about. So, it can be frustrating, but you just concentrate on what we're doing. We concentrate on the players and letting them deliver performances like they did on Saturday. And if we keep doing that and people keep saying teams play poorly against us, then happy days, as long as we keep getting the result.
And the big positive was you took your big chances. 3 goals, of course. It was one thing that was perhaps lacking last season, was the ability to convert those chances.
Yeah, 100%. I think that when the chances came along, we took them. I think we probably should have scored from a set play as well, which was a huge chance for us, and it's going to be a big part of our game. And last year we probably didn't take enough chances when they came around, but it's been a big thing of ours that we've got to also create more, for sure. And the more chances you make, the more chance you've got of scoring goals. So we know that. It's not going to happen every game throughout the leagues. Some games there'll be low amounts of shots and crosses, but they might finish 4-3-0 or whatever. But for us, it's about what we do and getting our players into positions where they're at their best. But yeah, I think the pleasing thing is another pleasing thing from the game was that we limited them from considering the power that they've got in their team in terms of players and the quality they've got in those forward areas. I think we limited them to, again, on probably our mistakes really. And as long as we learn from them and we iron them out and we limit them, throughout the season, opposition to chances again, then we're going to put ourselves in a really good position to win more games.
Squad come back in good shape. Obviously, there was concern about Louis Thompson at the end there.
Yeah, I think that for Louis, he's going to be missing for a little while. It's a loss for us, absolutely, because he's worked extremely hard over the summer to get over his injury from last year, and he's just had a setback there with that because he was unfortunately came on and really helped the team and drove with the ball and does all the things that we know Louis can do when he's full of confidence. So we're going to be without him for a little while, which is a big loss. But you know, on the other side, you've got Dan Phillips back again. You've got Harvey White, Jordan Houghton that are going to continue to improve, absolutely. And for us, we're strong in that area, and it'll be something that we maybe have to look at as well as a club in terms of moving forward, because there's a lot to rely on those three for the amount of games that we're going to play. So that's, you know, that might have to change our thinking in terms of players potentially coming in. But we are, you know, we're really happy with what we've got in there, and anyone coming in would have to make a difference to our group. So you know, it's a big loss, but we'll get round him and help him and make sure that when he does get back, he's ready to go.
Things ramp up a bit as well for the players, doesn't it? With games on, of course, Saturday, Tuesday, and Saturday.
Yeah, it comes thick and fast now. Obviously, this week was great to have, to be honest, to be able to have that game and then train and reflect on it and learn. You know, as of next week, it's you have to hit the ground running, and it's Saturday, Tuesday. But we've got, you know, that's why we've got squad. That's why we've got, you know, real quality and depth, because we are going to make changes for sure. And we feel that when we do make those changes, the quality won't dip. That'll be down to players on Saturday performing at the same levels that they did on, you know, against Blackpool, whether that's the same team or changes. But also when we go to Charlton, it's those players that come in for that game have got to prove that they're ready to play, that they're ready for the shirt, and that they want to keep the shirt. So that's why we've got this squad. That's why we wanted to work so hard throughout pre-season to make sure we brought in the right types, because when it does, you know, these games come in consecutive weeks, every player needs to stand up and be counted and all perform to the same level.
Rotherham this week, a club you know very well.
Yeah, so it was a big club in my playing career, and you know, I was there for a long time, and we had real success. Obviously, Matt's gone in there now, and you know, they're on a bit of a rebuild in terms of what they're doing, in terms of lost players, and they've brought new ones in. So they had a good result on Saturday, and we know that we played them at the end of last year, and it was a real battle last year, and we know that that's going to be the case this Saturday. They you know, the way that they play is exactly how their fans want to see them play. They work extremely hard for each other. They get the ball forward early, and we've got to make sure that we're ready for that. And we will be, and we're all prepared to make sure that we build on last week. That's the most important thing, is that we build on last week and continue with this in this positive manner, because if we can do that, then, you know, and you get a good start, it puts you in a really good position.
They've got a manager, of course, who's fairly new to the club, but it's now his squad, I guess. Is he somebody that you've worked with? He's been around the club for many years in the past. No,
I've known Matty for a very long time. Obviously, working with Paul Warne as well. So I've known Matty for a long time. He's a manager now that's learned a lot from his experiences with different managers. He's someone that you know, knows Rotherham as a football club, understands their DNA and wants to deliver that. So he's very passionate about the club. I know that, and he's someone that really cares about the football club. So when you get that, it's you want him to have success, because you want everyone in terms of who takes that jump into being manager. You don't want them to fail. But when we obviously come up against each other, there's only one, you know, place we want to win. We want to make sure we deliver a performance, and then from then on, you want him to go on and do well. But you know, he's a good guy. He's deserved the opportunity for sure now to go and show people how good he is, and we're looking forward to the challenge on Saturday. But for us, it's all about making sure that we continue the positive way that we've started the season, pre-season, and making sure that we start well at home.
And it looks like the Lamex in the sunshine, a win last week, that's going to maybe sort of pointing people's direction towards the ground. It's a lot of excitement, isn't there, for a first home game?
Yeah, absolutely. I said last week, for the people that travelled, that they are so important to us. We feel, when they're loud and with the team, it pushes us on. It drives the lads on. It's really important at home that we create that atmosphere. But that's both ways. We have to do that as well as players and as the staff. We have to create that, so we know that. But for us, it's really important this year at home that we entertain people, that we give them, a reason to come back, a reason to get behind us. We're all looking forward to it. We love playing at home. We know, and it's so important for us to start in a positive manner, that we send out a nice message to everyone that that to come back, come watch us, and we want to give them the smiles on their faces come a Saturday night. So we know how important they are to us, and we'll do everything we can do to make sure that we give them a team to be proud of.